Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Kaiju number 8. Kaiju Hachigo, I think, right? 8 is Hachi? Because I recently realized that it's probably not Kaiju 8 Go. Duh, it's probably Kaiju Hachigo. I realized that because Hachiman from Yahaore, his name is sometimes abbreviated as 8-man. So, oh, right, 8. Hachi. Makes sense. Yeah. Episode 2, just when episode 4 came out. I think I think this video is gonna release a day after episode 4 has come out, and by that time I will try to get episode 3 done as well. Sentai Daishikaku is taking a break this week, so I'm gonna have a free slot to record another Kaiju Hachigo. So, regardless, let's talk about the previous episode, right? The previous episode was, of course, the beginning. It was the first episode of the show, and we were introduced, mostly we were just introduced to the characters, to the world, and to the overarching... not really. We were introduced to what the story will be more or less about. That's how I'm gonna say it. Currently, our main character is Kafka Hibino, and the young man who is not listed on the list of characters, oddly enough, or maybe he's wearing a mask because a few people on the list of characters are wearing a mask. Was it Reno? I think it might have been Reno. In any case, Kafka is our main character. The world is the world of kaiju. Kaiju often, or at least often enough, attack human settlements, and it is often enough that there is an entire special task force, entire branch of economy, basically just dedicated to dealing with kaiju. There's a task force that kills the kaiju, and then there's the cleanup crew that, well, cleans up the corpse, because it doesn't just disappear automatically, right? Someone has to deal with the fallout of it. And probably some other organizations as well, right? People who do research on the kaiju. We've seen them taking blood samples in the first episode because some sort of a corporation needed them. We see them cut the flesh, collect all sorts of stuff. So wouldn't surprise me if you could buy a kaiju leather couch, maybe, if you're rich, right? Probably. And our main character is a part of the cleanup crew. He wanted to be one of the task force members, the one who fights the kaiju, but alas, he failed some sort of a test, and now he is bound to just be the cleaner. He wanted to be the fighter, because that's a promise he made with his childhood friend, Kikuru? No, Mina. Yeah, I think it was Mina. Mina, right? They were children, their houses were attacked by the kaiju. His childhood friend lost her pet, lost her house, both of them lost their houses, and they swore that, yeah, we will fight the kaiju together, we will exact our revenge, and I will always be with you, dear childhood friend of mine. But he couldn't be. She got into the task force, he didn't, promise broken, and she remembers until this very day and is very much disappointed. Yeah, there's some fighting going on, some fighting ensuing. A Yoju, do I remember it right? I think I do. A Yoju appears during cleanup, which is like a smaller version of kaiju, something like that. Attacks Kafka. He defends himself, his kohai also comes to his help, and his childhood friend arrives with her white tiger, and saves him. And then as they are laying in a hospital, him and the kohai, Kafka gets visited by a tiny little, like, flying insect monster thing that says, "You are the one," enters his mouth and transforms Kafka into a human kaiju hybrid monster thing. And that's where the episode... Well, no, that's not where the episode ends quite yet. An old man appears and notices that and calls the task force, yo, there's a monster here, come and exterminate them. And Kafka's childhood friend, of course, learns of that because she's the task force, and they will meet, very unfortunately, because he's the monster, she's the monster slayer. Ooh, some sparkly romance. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of tension between them. Or maybe not, I mean, who knows? They could do it two ways. My prediction to this episode and further, they could do it in two different ways. Either Kafka hides his new identity, hides his powers, stays in the sewers with his kohai, bringing him food and shit, and he becomes the unsung hero, right? Eventually, there are reports of a human kaiju appearing and beating the shit out of kaiju. What? Have kaijus joined us? Is it a secret government project? What's going on? It could go that way, right? A mysterious Avenger living in the sewers. Or it could go the way of Kafka saying, hey, yo, Mina, that's like me actually. Put the sword down. I know details about, our lives. I know stuff that only the two of us know. I can prove my identity. Oh, Kafka-kun, what the hell happened to you? Right? It could go that way as well, and he's gonna get accepted into the task force as the monster fighter slayer thing. Yeah, could go either way. Although I think it's gonna go the latter, because we see in the promo material, we see Kafka standing in like the Spec Ops gear together with the rest of the task force, so probably the other way. The first way is more in line with like Western comics, right? Someone gets hit by a gamma radiation, turns into a monster, hides in the sewers. That's very like DC plotline, isn't it? So probably not. He's probably going to join the task force and will be able to fight together with his childhood friend. In today's episode could still be hiding, or they could just deal with it very quickly, chop chop. The truth comes out, he says, hey yo, I'm Kafka, let me explain what happened, and we're friends again, I can finally join you, hooray. Maybe, we'll see. To see, of course, you will need your subs. What the fuck happened? To follow along with me, I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. There we go. And I'm gonna need your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube, down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching Kaiju Hachigo episode 2 in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so a little bit of last time on Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is episode 2. I hate to double check. This pose. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just, casually I've just been transformed into a badass. Oh. Is this the opening? Okay. I dig it. That's... this is more like an ending, like visually. Okay, sure, why not? It's very different as far as anime openings go. Extremely fucking different from what I'm used to. English lyrics is one thing, but the visuals are, you know, very not opening like. That's actually something that I would expect in like after credits scene, or like the early credits scene to a like Hollywood movie, right? You know what I mean? When the credits roll and they mention the big names, and there's usually some animation going on, and then the song ends, the animation ends, and it's just black background and all the other people listed, right? It seems like that first segment. Yeah, of course, people ignoring warnings of danger. His jaw seems fairly stiff. Yeah, gotta learn to control your strength. Yeah, control your strength, mate. Exactly. How high is that? Okay, so Reno just jumped without even. I mean, I guess he did take a glance, seeing how high it is. Yeah, right? The fuck is going on? Okay, so I guess he can, like, more or less freely. Okay, alien reference. Gotta have it. Okay, so it's not like he has a set preset form. He can do all sorts of wild, crazy shit with his body. Cool. Okay. Good question. Yeah. That's an interesting anatomy. Uh, uh yeah. Uh, Then I will destroy the world. If I can't have what I want, no one will have it. His kaiju instincts taking over, the desire for destruction. No, probably not. Oh? His kaiju senses are tingling. A kaiju? Yoju? Something? She will witness Kafka fighting the kaiju. And that will mean that she will just not shoot him on sight, giving him a chance to explain? Probably. Nope. I gotta fight it. Oh, come on, Kafka. Save her. Save her. Oh. Oh, I thought it was Kafka's shadow. Kafka. Or Mina. Kafka. Exactly. That's what heroes do. That's what Himmel the hero would have done. uh, yeah, you get some work to do on your smile. Is she alive? Okay, that's good. You gotta get her to safety, though. Oh, this thing's still alive? Or is it another one? Right. What else? Now he has the power to do so. Yes. Red mist. That's some nice music. Yep, red mist. There's gonna be a lot of cleanup to do. And red rain. Oh, I love it. That's such a great image right here. Yeah. There's gonna be nothing left if he punches a regular human. So where are you going? Hiding in the sewers? Yeah. The first person to recognize him, to recognize his quality. 27 fucking degrees. It's 40 outside. I fucking hate summer. I'm all sweaty and I'm not doing anything. Yeah, the path has been opened for you, hasn't it? If you can get Mina to not kill you on sight, that is. Oh! Okay, he can control it. That's good. He just randomly learned how to do that. Good shit. Right on time. I was hoping he's gonna stick around. But I guess he's gonna want to join the team through, like, the proper channels, rather than being like, oh yeah, I'm a monster, take me in. Right? Probably. But spare this one if you could. Yep. Exactly. The good kaiju. Huh. Okay, so that explains the title. And it is indeed Hachigo. Where Kafka? 103, damn. From the Defense Force. Okay, so I guess Kafka can control his transformation because he came to the company, went to the work site, right? Yep, they have passed. Or at least Reno did. Did he pass? You gonna look in? He did pass. Yeah, I mean, take your chances while you still have them, right? Oh, we still have plenty left. Oh, so I guess he can't control it that well. Oh, he has to consciously keep his human form. Partial transformations are cool, though. I fucking love partial transformations. Ah. Does he have any other choice? Yeah, exactly. He's gonna have to limit himself consciously, I guess. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Friendly rivalry. All right. And he's gonna rip it off. Yeah, exactly. It really would have been easier if he were to explain it to Mina and join through that channel, right? But I guess it's, a matter of principles. He wants to join on his own, you know, through his own strength and work and whatnot, rather than just being like, oh, I'm special, take me in, right? Probably. He doesn't want to take any shortcuts. Monster Sweeper Incorporated. That's impressive looking. Hmm. I mean, yeah, makes sense that they would be, cooperating with the military. Mina? No. A redhead dude? I guess the candidates. Yep. I'm betting all of the candidates. And they're gonna together create a secondary team. Whomst. Oh, and Ojo-sama with a butler named Alfred, probably. What? Hmm. Yeah, let's not punch her. You're gonna turn her into mist. Oh, she has special equipment thing on? Yeah. Seems so. So is this standard equipment of the task force? No, examinee. I thought she's gonna be the examiner. So what, is she like Batman? She's rich enough to get all sorts of special equipment to help her? Yeah, he works for a kaiju cleanup company. Duh. Who? Who's that? Okay, so kaiju seem to come in all sizes, even like a tiny lizard. Good to know. And she's gonna use an axe. Good shit. Twin Tails Ojo-sama, Kudere blonde with a big axe. Probably tsundere, let's be honest. Her design just screams tsundere. It really screams like early 2000s tsundere. Best buddies. And I'm assuming this is some sort of a researcher who's gonna be interested in what happened to Kafka, maybe, kinda, sorta. I don't know, we'll see. But what we will see right now is the same episode again, shall we? Yes, we shall. Yeah, recap. That's a very interesting opening. It's really giving me heavy ending vibes, as I said. Both because of the placement of credits, kind of front and center, but also because it's, for the most part, very abstract, right? Usually openings serve the purpose of telling us about the story and the characters, more or less, right? Like, if it's a fighting show, then you see a lot of excerpts from fights. If it's a romance show, then you see the girls passing by, you know, awestruck, and you see a kiss scene that that blurs and blends away before the lips manage to touch, right? If it's a comedy, then you see some examples of slapstick. Most often you see all sorts of characters during the opening as well, right? Like you see, I would expect, judging from the promo material and judging from this episode, how we met all the other examinees, I would expect to see something like, you know, all those examinees sliding from the left, turning towards the camera, winking, another one slides and does, I don't know, puts his hat on deeper, or, right? I would expect something like that, a showcase of the characters. I would expect a showcase of fighting with the kaiju a little bit. Not necessarily scenes from just taken straight from the show. I would rather they don't do it, actually, because more often than not it's a heavy spoiler. But I would have expected something like that. What we get inside is a bunch of abstract shapes, abstract motion, 3D motion graphics, with a little bit of showcase, I guess. Oh, here's one kaiju, here's another kaiju, and here's Kafka and Mina, and more kaiju. And that's all we get. That's all we get that ties the opening into the show. We see Kafka, we see Mina, we see some kaiju. And we see Kafka's form, which is actually very good CG model. But besides that, there's absolutely no tie into anything. Just a bunch of completely abstract. I guess this isn't that abstract, but for the most part, right? Those like blood splashes and shit. Very much doesn't look like an opening. And an English song sung in the background doesn't help that vibe either. you can have an English lyrics song to a normal, regular style opening, and it will seem like an opening still, right? I'm not saying that, English lyrics song cannot be used for an opening. It absolutely can. But it only adds to the feeling of, what? This is not an anime opening, right? It kind of adds to that. It really seems like this would be in like the early part of credits to some sort of a movie. If Kafka was a Marvel hero, I can absolutely see that happening at the end of the movie before the actual credits start. I can absolutely see that happening. But no, it's used for an opening. I guess we do get a little bit of, those kaijus turning and changing shape, kinda hinting at Kafka himself being a shapeshifter, but that's basically like the only connection I can find. Besides, I mean, the obvious scene right here, where Kafka and Mina are standing in front of a bunch of kaiju, right? Because I mean, that's the theme. That's the theme. Kafka and Mina fight kaiju. There, that's the show. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, if we're together, there's nothing to be afraid of, indeed. I would have expected her to show at least some concern for Kafka, right? I would expect her to be like, not openly, but like under her nose, like, that's where Kafka-san is. Or, some sort of a mention. I'm not saying that she should be frantically rushing there. No, she's a professional. But some sort of a mention I would have expected. Apparently not. I don't know. It can't be because she gotten over him, because she very much did not. She very much still reminisces about, oh, we were supposed to fight the kaiju together, right? Liar. Small kaiju. Yeah, of course, there's a warning of danger and people will be willingly ignore it. Absolutely. Oh, it's just a system malfunction, nothing ever happens. It can't be that there is a kaiju around. Absolutely not. Yeah. I'm glad that we still get a nice balance of comedy, like almost slapstick to a point, and a serious business. I was kind of afraid of this show going in either way. I was afraid of it going full-blown comedy, and I was afraid of it going full-blown serious business tragedy. I'm glad that we are smack dab in the middle, it seems. There's a lot of good humor, right? Seeing him in this monstrous form, completely panicking over what's happening. And yet we have some very serious moments as well. It's also not undermining the serious moments, because it would be very easy to have this whole kaiju business be a comedy for Kafka, right? He's extremely overpowered. He can punch any kaiju and blow it to smithereens. It's basically One Punch Man of Kafka versus kaiju. Kafka being, of course, Saitama here. And meanwhile, the task force is like, oh, they're overrunning us. We lost Bob. Bob is dead. Oh no, we have to keep shooting, right? And that seriousness completely being undermined by Kafka just walking in, regular normal punch, and the enemy blows up. It's not that either. The matter is still very serious. Kaiju are still very much a threat. The fact that we get some laughs from Kafka's situation doesn't undermine the how dire the situation really is. I like it. A very good balance track. Like, we don't see this as being laughable, right? Like, oh, they're treating it all so seriously, and it's just Kafka, right? Oh, the silly gooses, they think there's, you know, some danger. Look how serious they are, look how serious they are, right? It doesn't get undermined whatsoever. This is an interesting detail. Apparently, he can shapeshift more or less at will. You gotta have a reference to to Alien, of course. Wouldn't surprise me if we were to see more references to media like that. Wouldn't surprise me if he got, I don't know, transformed the Predator jaw or used the wrist launcher with that like triangular aiming laser or something like that. Stuff like that. Or went ack eventually and said that music hurts his ears or something. Even revert creepily, yeah. This is an amazing face. Yep. Turn the subtitles off. Grab a screenshot. There we go. This is perfect. As I said, some really, really good comedy as well. There we go. Fucking send. And this is just a culmination of all this comedy. Pissing through his nipples. And still worried, right? It's still like, haha, funny, of course you're not getting into the defense force, you're a kaiju. But no, it's like serious business. He really wants to join the defense force. It was his dream all along. Right now, he finally made the decision. He finally had enough strength and enough motivation to decide that, yes, I want to try again. And now it all gets undermined. It's serious. It's no laughing matter. It would be very easy to laugh it off, but it's serious. Again, very good balance of humor and seriousness. Something's coming, and he can sense the kaiju, which will be, no doubt, very important bit in his tenure as a Defense Force agent. I can absolutely see him getting a reputation for being the dude that has a sixth sense that allows him to sense kaiju. Absolutely. Nobody understands why, but nobody also questions it. He says, kaiju incoming! People don't believe him. Oh, shit, kaiju actually appears. He does it twice, and people start believing him. And he becomes an indispensable member of the party. I can absolutely see that happening. The same type. Yeah, let's just pray there will be no casualties. Do I really want to do that, though? I finally have the power, I finally have the strength to rip apart buildings, and I have the desire to be a member of the defense force, right? Like Reno, like Ichikawa himself said, how would I be able to, you know, to want to join the defense force if I did not come here to save you, senpai? I want to be a member of the defense force because I want to save people. How could I ever hope to become a member if I'm just going to turn my back to a person needing saving, right? And it's the very same thing happening with Kafka right now. Like, sure, he turned away as a little bit of a misdirection. Oh, yeah, he turned away. He's going into hiding. No, he's not. He appears, and he saves the day, punching the kaiju away. Just like that. Delayed impact sound. Yeah. And still, those little tiny tidbits of comedy here and there. It works. It works. It really does. Less of an ahegao, more of a smile, less tongue, you know, more normal eyes, and you'll make it. You'll make it. One of these days, I believe that you will be able to smile properly. Unless it's going to be a running gag that he cannot smile, which I guess also works. Yeah, thankfully Ichikawa is here. I'm gonna try punching in with all my might. Just like that. Very nice music. A lot of thunder and an explosion. Just into mist. Just a wave of gore and viscera. Very good music. And blood rain. And this is just a great scene. This is actually really good. I love especially the contrast between his teal lighting and everything just being covered in red, bloody mist. It contrasts so well. It's cool. I like it. I wonder if that's why this is the color that his energy has. To contrast with gore and viscera and blood. Yeah, definitely can do that to a person. Absolutely not. It's your friendly neighborhood superhero, the Kaiju Man, covered in blood of his enemies. But still, very serious moment, right? A bit of a comedy like, oh yeah, he's covered in blood and turning towards a kid and the kid is scared. Well, duh, of course, ha ha ha, it's funny. But no, it's serious. He wants to help people, he doesn't want people to be scared of him. And yet they are, and yet, after the initial shock wears off, thank you, Mr. Kaiju. Thank you for saving me, thank you for saving my mom. Gives him hope that, yeah, he can stand here right next to Mina. He can be a member of the Defense Force. He wants to be a member of the Defense Force. He helped a person and it felt good. He wants to keep helping. He wants to help so many more people. Yeah, I'm not giving up. And that decision, I guess, allowed him to shapeshift properly again into a human. What the fuck happened, indeed? Yeah, I'll wipe out all the kaiju. No, miss, could you promise not to hurt the good ones, though? The good one. Could you please not hurt the good Mr. Kaiju? The one who saved my mom. What? Good kaiju? What do you mean? There are good kaiju? Big shock to Mina. Kaiju number 9. Number 8, sorry. Witness composite. Right, first kaiju to ever escape, because he can morph into a human, so he can escape very easily. Time for the exams. Ichikawa passed. Senpai passed. Yeah, I assumed that his regular form is still human, but he can turn into a monster at will. But rather, it seems like his natural main plane form, when he doesn't want to consciously change it, is the monstrous one, and he has to take conscious effort to turn into a human again. Yeah, I still slip up once in a while. Gotta love me some partial transformation. I really, really do enjoy partial transformations. I very much enjoy it in everywhere. It's still my biggest criticisms, if you can call it that, of Symphogear, that we did not get a partial transformation. I was so waiting for Hibiki to transform just her hand with the glove and just punch some noise in the face without the rest of the transformation happening. Thankfully, Yuuki Yuuna is scratching that itch. Or scratched it once, at least. It's better than none, though, so, you know, counts for something. And I have hope that perhaps here we will also see some partial transformation. He will take his human form and, oh no, Kaiju is rushing at me, so he puts out his arm, stops the Kaiju, and the arm turns into a monstrous arm. And maybe he has to explain it to someone. Someone witnesses it. I wonder who's gonna be the first one. in the know about his condition. Like, besides Ichikawa, of course, because you can't hide it forever. Yeah, you can't hide it forever. I wonder who's it gonna be. I have a sneaking suspicion it's not gonna be Mina. I think it might be Kikuru. Yep, so many different examinees. Here we have the biker dude, we have... who else do we have here? The good-natured guy, the athletic runner dude, and of course the Ojo-sama. Yeah. The rich Ojo-sama with a butler named Alfred, who probably has the suit because she's so rich that she was able to afford it. Very much reminiscent of Batman, let's be honest here, right? She's rich enough to be able to afford all sorts of different things that can help her. I'll move it myself. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. I like it. I like her design. I like her demeanor. I like her voice. I like her in general. I like her power. That she's able to... that she has this, like, strongman suit. That's cool. And I have a weakness for the design where small top, big pant. I like it. So this is basically it, although it's not big pant, it's coat that slipped down, but you know what I mean. You smell like a kaiju. And this is some sort of a scientist who does not reside in a particularly sciencey place. It doesn't look like an office, or maybe it is. I don't know, hard to tell. Could it be the only other person who knows of Kafka's condition and is researching it? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, he's gonna make some friends in the task force, defense force, absolutely. Cool. Okay, that was the episode. So. There we go. Very good episode. I'm very much enjoying this show. Hasn't disappointed me yet. Besides the opening, I'm not a huge fan of it. Like, the music works, the visuals work better for an ending. In combination, I don't know, it just doesn't work as an opening to me. But it's ultimately something very minor. Actually, do I like it? I'm a little bit ambivalent on Kafka trying to get into the defense force, like, on his own merit, because that's what he's trying to do, right? He could very easily have approached the defense force, approached Mina or whatever, saying, hey, yo, I have this superpower now, can I maybe be of use to you? And he could probably be of use to them. Though I guess that runs a risk of him just being kept in a lab, constantly pricked with needles and shit, and people trying to figure out what's his deal. Right? It could very well end up with that. He could have done that very easily. But I guess it stands opposed to his desires, opposed to his conditions, right? Convictions, sorry. He wants to get into the defense force on his own merit. Not because he's a monster, but because he's him, right? He doesn't want to take any shortcuts. He wants to take all of the exams, one after another, as they come, pass them all, and then he will be satisfied with the outcome. Though, that actually raises a question. Is he actually going to pass those exams through his own merit? Or is he going to do that because of his superhuman strength? Right? You can't really argue that he will pass them without using his newfound powers. Unless he can just turn them off at will, which I don't think he can. So, right, that begs the question, really. But if he feels better about going about it this way, then sure, that's perfectly fine. I just hope, I really hope it doesn't evolve into the unsung hero trope. Right? The trope where the main character is like, I don't know, the main character is a bartender or whatever, or a street sweeper or something. And then something's going down, some shit's going down, the main character disappears, wears a mask, and goes and fight, and then comes back and nobody knows that it was him. Right? Nobody knows his name, he doesn't get any recognition whatsoever. I'm not a huge fan of this trope. I wouldn't want it if he were to be like one of the maybe weaker candidates and pretending to be one of the weaker ones in the team, but then he says, "Oh, I have to go take a piss," and he goes away. "Oh, the monster Kaiju No.8 appeared and defeated the kaiju. Wow!" Then he comes back and, "Oh, guys, what did I miss?" Right? I'm not a huge fan of this trope. I hope it does not devolve into that. I hope he gets at least some recognition. Now, sure, he's gonna get it from Ichikawa. That's good. That's already good, because this trope is the worst when our main character is genuinely the only one who knows that he's the, the driving force, he's the protector, the hero. Now at least Ichikawa knows about that, so my concerns are a little bit alleviated. But I still think I would rather him come out in the open, say, "Hey, yo, I have those powers, I got them randomly, let me join you, give me the suit, I'm gonna fight alongside you, using my powers, using my strength." Right? And he gets the nickname the Good Kaiju, or something, or Mr. Kaijuu, right? And he gets recognition as himself, not as his weak human street cleaner persona that he will have to create in order to not stand out. I guess it has to do a lot with, I don't know, maybe Japanese culture, right? You shouldn't stand out. You should just do your job quietly, not expect any sort of recognition. Maybe it has something to do with that, and it just stands in opposition to my beliefs that if you did something, then you deserve recognition for it, and you should absolutely flaunt it. Maybe. I don't know. It's just a completely, theoretical argument in the first place, because we haven't seen it devolve into that, so who's to say that it will, right? It might very well not devolve into that, it might very well be Kafka getting the recognition he deserves. Absolutely, could happen. We'll see, I guess. We'll see in the future episodes. But right now, I'd say that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys have something more to add on that topic. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord down in the description and also up here. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Kaiju No.8, but also Yuuki, Yuuna, Unnamed, The Memory, Blue Archive, Kaito, Otome, and plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Patreon and YouTube down below. On Patreon for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuuki, Yuuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and the place and the credits. On YouTube you can support me through membership, super thanks, super chats. And if you don't want to spend any money, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Watson, Zarena, Yuki, Ala, Ishtamu, Dr. Ward, Akamaser, Marsh, Fazel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to piss out of your nipples.